So how's it going?
Chilling, man. How you doing? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just working. When you first started YouTube, it was around 2009. Did you expect that success that you got out the gate?
um, yeah. I just didn't know how it was gonna come. I mean, I really blew up in 2011, and I actually started in 2008. But I mean, I knew it was gonna come. I just didn't know how it was gonna come. That was pretty much the whole drift of it. So yeah, it wasn't a surprise.
Oh, okay. When you start blowing up in 2011 with asking all them questions video and stuff like that, you built a lot of relationships and got a lot of people into the spot. How are
All
your
right.
relationships with those in the industry that you've worked with over the years?
The relationship is cordial. You know, it's business. That's pretty much it. You know, in the entertainment business, the entertainment industry is strictly business. It's nothing personal. You build rapport with people, you build relationships, and then from there on, you see if you can get a friendship out of it. But you don't go into the industry looking for friendships. You go into it looking to build relationships, and then the rest will follow.
Okay. After everything blew up with you, you got into a movie, and then you went into All Def Digital, and you helped build All Def Digital what it is now. You talked about how much you sacrificed when you did that. If you can go back, would you change anything, or would you do it the same way that you did it back then?
I mean, the only thing I'll probably change is just the way, I invite people as far as going into ventures and, in my surroundings. So, I mean, that's pretty much that. But actually, I actually wouldn't change anything because it's all a learning experience. I'm way smarter than what I was before. I'm way wiser. So if I hadn't got those lessons, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So, I take life lessons the way they come. If it's bad, I take it and I turn it to a good. If it's good, I'm still going to keep it positive. So at the end of the day, you wish you could turn and change a situation in the heat of a moment. But when you really look back on everything, I don't take it all back because it built my character.
Okay. It's understandable. I've been through a lot of things where I had to look back and say I wouldn't be who I am without this bad experience. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you started the podcast, the Spoken Truth podcast, was you inspired by somebody, or did you just say, I need to get myself out there even more than just YouTube and things like that, and decided to start a podcast as well?
The podcast was just more of a transparent way for me to, let my voice out to the people who cared about me speaking in a raw way without it being edited. That's the reason why I did it. I don't know. I didn't really do it because it was a trend. I did it because I saw that it was out there. I've always wanted to do radio, and I've always wanted to speak to the people in a raw format. People are so used to me speaking to them as far as work with chop edits and, and seeing the finished product. They never really got a chance to really experience who JB is. And spoken when you really, tune in and just see them move in motion. And, they don't really get a chance to see me make mistakes. So that's the chance where they see the looseness happen and get a chance to really judge the man for what he is. And so that's the reason why I started the podcast, and from there, he just did his thing.
Okay. With YouTube, back to YouTube, you started the online skit and everything that the internet has gone wild with over the years. How'd you come up with that idea? Because no one was doing it before you that I could remember.
Well, I wasn't the first one to do any type of comedy online. You know what I'm saying? Whoever that first person is, he needed to go ahead and jump out there and get his credit too. I don't know who it was, but I will say this. I started the wave. I started the viral wave what inspired people to, that inspired them to want to do it as well. And it really came from the movie The Heat. When I did the movie The Heat, that took it to the next level. When I was doing skits and everything then, It was new. A lot of people didn't have all the confidence to do it. There were some people coming out, but a lot of people didn't really come out. But as far as the movie came out, when everyone was in attendance for it, that's when everything changed, and that's when I just seen the game just flip upside, flip upside down, and it started shaking everybody out of nowhere. So, I mean, how I got started, honestly, I got started because the comedians wasn't letting me on the stage for the amount of time that I wanted to get on stage. So at the time, I was a poet. I was going around homeless. I was selling CDs for $10. I was going from state to state, city to city. I was a full-bred poet on the road and without the internet. And then, when I went home after college, I wanted to get into the comedy brand. And, when I went to the stages and tried to introduce myself, a lot of the older comics, they wasn't having it. They were going to give me 5 minutes if I even got 5 minutes at all. And what people don't understand is comedy is a fraternity. It's like a fraternity.
Okay.
Not everybody's invited in the circles, and not everybody's gonna be friendly and welcoming and opening to you. So that's the reason why I ran to the internet and started a wave that can't be taken back now. And now those same comics that were hogging the open mic nights or whatever, they're the same ones that's doing Instagram skits and YouTube comedy and Vines today. So at the end of the day, that's just what it is.
You went on a little hiatus, 2015, 16-ish. Like, what happened there? Because, as a fan, just personally, I was wondering, like, where you went, and then the YouTube views weren't the same, and, like, I don't know how that even happened, you know what I mean? Like, was that an industry thing, or was that, like, because I don't know how YouTube works exactly, you know what I mean?
It was a little bit of everything, man. I took a step back to analyze the game. It was the game changing. When I first started, it wasn't mine. Instagram wasn't around. Facebook videos wasn't around. I was actually one of the first ones to do Facebook videos. I started on Facebook videos back in 2007. I touched that before I went on YouTube. So I was actually on Facebook before I was on YouTube back in 2007 and 8. So I went on a hiatus. The game changed. The algorithm changed. It's just a lot of different factors that went into it. A lot of people think they got the answers, and they think they know the one answer to what happened to me. It was a little bit of everything. It was a little bit of my growth. It was a little bit of the game just changing, and it was just more so. It was more so like an out with the old, in with the new type of thing. It's just a weird. It's just a weird situation. It's a weird thing because people will have their opinions about things, but what I'm saying is the actual facts. Most people from the outside looking in, they're not going to talk about algorithm. They're not going to talk about that. A lot of people don't really even know what that is, unless they actually entertain people for a living. So algorithm has a lot to do with your traffic. It has a lot to do with the people that view you, share you, and everything. So I just got caught up into the crossfire with a lot of traffic, and that was it. But as far as the views, like I said, it was that, and it was also me focusing on trying to become an actual actor. So I had to take time out to focus on being an actor, and I had to pick and choose. It came to a point where I had to pick and choose on which one it was going to be. So I was focusing on building All Def Digital, the network that was built off my back, on behalf of Russell Simmons and Steve Rifkin, and also I had to audition for movies and figure out if that was for me or not. So a lot of different factors went into it, and I was pulled away from my number one baby just to try to see if I could pursue Hollywood in the acting world. And a lot of people, you can't blame me because I'm really the first one to even aim that high. I'm in a number one comedy movie in America at the time, and people only expect for me to go up, especially when you see something in the movie. You see someone in the movie with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy, you expect for them to be in other big movies, with other A-list actors and stuff like that. And that's when I had a chance to really learn the game of acting. The game of acting is a very cold place. it's a very cold world. It's very fickle. It's very up and down. It's wishy-washy. And that's what they don't tell you about it. And if you really look at the history of actors over the years, just look at the history of how many actors had big supporting roles and how many out of 100 really made it. Really made to become stars. And
especially
a lot of them didn't. Especially black actors. And that's that. So the thing about it is, it was a little bit of everything that played into it. And I don't take any of it as a regretful situation or stance. The way I look at it is, who's going to do a movie bigger than that?
We haven't seen it.
Yeah, exactly. When you look at a movie with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy, I mean, that's already as high as it is. So for that to be the number one movie that year, in the summer, especially for comedy, man, I've already looked at it as I took it as look, man, if you don't get anything after this, or you can't get anything bigger than this, you're blessed. And that's how I looked at it. So I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Yeah, and speaking
I
of
could
movies,
never do another movie again, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even cut you off, but I could never do another movie again. And I'm dead serious. I've been saying this for years. I told myself I could never do another movie again, and I'm fine. I'm fine with clocking out with just that, because that's a high level to achieve, and most people that do movies, they can't make it that high.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of movies, I wanted to talk about how you're making your own, like doing the independent film thing. Deal with the Devil came out, and then you have the movie about spoken word coming out soon too. So, what's it like being an independent movie maker? Is it like the difference of having to pay for everything yourself?
Well, the difference between an independent movie maker and actually going on someone's set is literally what you said. You have to pay for everything, and everything is on you. That's the thing. And is it difficult? Of course it's difficult. But at the end, it's very rewarding, because you get all of your money, you get all of your points, you get all of your ducats. And, a lot of people don't choose to go that route because they know that's the struggle route. But I've always been a guy up for the challenge. And that's pretty much how I attacked it. So when I went and did Deal with the Devil, I didn't even know that was going to be a movie. It was originally supposed to be a short film, and it just turned into a film as I was shooting because it was so long. So overall, I love the independent route because I don't have to answer to anyone. I get to move the way I want to move. I get to write my script the way I want to write them, and no one can tell me. No one can tell me, oh, take that part out, leave that part in. And that's the thing. That's the thing that I had an issue with as far as being in Hollywood. It's the whole control thing. You can present your script all you want to, but at the end of the day, there's always gonna be something that they're gonna want you to take out and change. And that's the issue that I had, because when I left Florida and went to California, I thought I was gonna go with total freedom and total creativity, because I was one of the first ones to come from the internet, and they came to me. I didn't even come to them. So I'm thinking that just because they came to me, that I was going to have total leeway, but come to find out I had to learn the hard way and I had to hit my head. So if I had to really pick one, I would most definitely pick my independent movies over that. But I'm not against doing a commercial movie as well, written by someone else. It just has to make sense. I'm not against anything as long as it makes sense.
Yeah, that's understandable. As long as they're not trying to push you into doing something that you never wanted to do, because that's
exactly. I have no issue at all. Yeah, I have no issue at all.
You're going to be on Wild 'N Out in May. You put that up on Instagram. Are you able to speak about that, or is it just we wait for it?
I think it's something that we all should, at the end of the day, you know, that's in May, and you know, God willing, we all make it to that day. So I don't really know what to expect except for a bunch of roasts and stuff like that. So the only thing I can say is just tune in, enjoy the show, and put your seatbelts on, because it's gonna be a hell of a ride. Because I'm coming with my ammo.
I'm excited too, because I've been waiting for you to get back in the spotlight, you know. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. My last question is, as someone who's made it, you know, like for young Black creators like myself and then a lot of others, what advice do you have for them as far as the industry and how they should move based on any mistakes or any triumphs that you've had over the years?
Keep a tight circle of people that care about you, and focus on your support base of those people, and, you know, be an underdog in the public and be a pit bull in private. That's the best way to put it. Because when you're an underdog in public, you know, people love the underdog story. People love when you're humble. You know what I'm saying? They love when you're humble. They love seeing them make it, you know, from the struggle story, just for some reason. And, you know, what I mean by being a pit bull in private, don't take no shit. Don't take no nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, there are going to be plenty of vultures that are going to try to leech off you, try to make money off you, off your fame, off your name. And you got to keep your eyes open and, you know, and stay prayed up and make sure you can fight off those demons and those people that just don't have your best intentions, because it's so easy to get manipulated, and they can do it in a way that you'll look back 8 years from now and say, damn, what happened? You know,
right.
You know, it's not like taking $1 million from underneath your nose and you see the $1 million getting taken away from the table. They're stealing money from you that you never saw or never thought was there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's how that works. You know, it's not like, oh, I had $30 million and all of a sudden my $30 million is gone. No. They're taking money from you that you don't even know about. You know,
it's like you get your check, but they hit you before you got your check, basically.
Yeah, exactly. They know about things. You know, you got to understand, you're going on their playground. You know, they don't call L.A. Sin City for nothing, or no, not Sin City. They don't call it the city of Los Angeles for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like the city of Los Angeles, because there's so many people out there chasing the wrong thing and living the wrong way, and it's so easy to get lost into that, you know, based off of the amount of spirit that you collaborate and communicate with. And it's so easy to get sucked in. And that's why so many people go to LA, they become homeless, they get chewed up, they get spat out, because they're not prepared. And you know, before walking into a major industry, you need to make sure that you're well prepared and you know what your goal is. If you don't have an end goal, you know, it's going to be very, very rough for you. I had an end goal. My end goal was just to simply go out there and just see what I could do. I didn't go out there.
Yeah.
I didn't go out there with the intentions of saying, man, I'm going to be a Oscar-winning actor, comedian. I didn't go out there with the intentions of saying, you know what, I'm going to leave with $5 million. I just went out there to test run and just see what it was all about. That's all I went out there for, because I originally didn't want to move out there anyway. You know, I moved out there because when I did the movie The Heat, my manager told me it's suggested that you move to LA to further your career. I think anybody on the planet Earth would move to LA after they finish doing a Sandra Bullock movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I think anybody in their right mind would do that. You know, at least give it a try. And that's what I did. I gave it a try. So, am I in LA right now? No. Do I still go to LA? Yes. Do I stay there long? No. I just do my work and I get out. And that's another thing too. You know, when you're in Hollywood, you got to understand that you are the commodity. They're not. You know, Hollywood, you know, they have this perception amongst people to make them feel like that they have the sauce, that they have the juice. But nah, you got the sauce. You got the juice. You know what I'm saying? The people gave you the sauce. The people gave you the juice. You created the sauce. You created the juice. They need you to put on their platform. The only thing they can come with is just money. And how do they have the money? Because they started it all and they own everything. And you don't own anything. So when you're going into it, you're already going into it kind of in a defeated position. So this is why they say play ball, play game. And when Monique was going through the stuff that she was going through, Lee Daniels stated she didn't play the game. She didn't play ball. And that's what a lot of people say, when you're amongst people in the industry, they always say, build your relationship, be cordial, play the game. Because when you don't play the game, then you're looked at you're looked at as a Dave Chappelle. You're looked at as a rebellious individual amongst others. And that's not how the game was written. That's not how it was set up. It was set up to abide by certain rules, and if you don't, you're not going to be a part of it. So the reason why, I would say even a part of my views even went down was because I'm somewhat blackballed. I'm somewhat blackballed. And being blackballed simply doesn't mean that you can't do stuff. It just means that you're limited of opportunities. That's all. So if you encounter with a certain individual that don't like you or that don't like the way you move, all they have to do is make a phone call or two, and then you won't be welcome on that platform anymore. And now 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you got people asking you, well, why aren't you on this show? Well, how come you're not in this movie? Well, how come you're not doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people from the outside looking in. And then it gets to a point where you get tired of answering those questions and you just shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? You get tired of answering the question and you just let it ride. And then I got to a point where I just let the shit ride. And then also, too, I didn't really tell my story until last year when I did the What Happened in Hollywood. And this is why I'm going to tell my story on March 2nd in Atlanta for Hollywood Unspoken. I'm going to take it a little bit deeper than I did with the What Happened in Hollywood Storytime video.
Okay.
But one thing that I learned about views over time, man, views are amazing. It can make or break your brand, the world, and everything else. But one thing I definitely do know, work on your core. Because when you work on your core fan base and you spend your time working on the people that matter, it doesn't matter if you're not viral anymore. Those core people are there to catch you. And that's one thing I've always had. I have FCHW, Faith, Consistency, and Hard Work. I have hundreds of people, if not thousands, I don't know. But I have hundreds of people that I know, that I've seen, with tattoos or FCHW across their body, and I don't even have the tattoo on my body. I don't even have not one single tattoo. Did I tell them to do it? No, I never told them to do it. But, Michael Jackson was cold at one point in his life. Bill Cosby is cold right now. You know what I'm saying? And these are two big celebrities that you would have never thought would have hit rock bottom, that you would have never thought would have been cold. Now, if those two guys can be cold, why are people looking at me like I can't? I think it's safe to say that people have ups and downs. And, that's one thing that people are too afraid to admit in the industry, because people are too busy trying to fake it to make it. They're too busy trying to fake it to make it. And this is why I'm so real and transparent with my audience, because I don't want them pulling my card on something that I can't uphold. And this is why I walk through my fire. So if I don't look like $1 million, so what? I look like $1,000, but I'm still Spoken Reason. I'm still JB. You're not going to disrespect me, because I'm still the same person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And, you haven't changed at all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that. So whether I got 1 million followers, whether I got 3,000 followers, I'm still going to go down as the person that I came in as, that I represented myself as, that I projected myself to be. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. It's just a matter. It's all a matter of what your goal is too. Like, some people goal is money. So some people come in the game with talent, no gift, with talent, and they soak the game up and just get the bag and they get out. And then some people come in trying to do it for the legacy and all that other stuff. Some people come in and they try to do it both. I try to do both. I try to get the money, but I'm all about my legacy over the money, if anything. I'm all about my coins and my chips. But also, I turned down a lot of movies, and I turned down a lot of TV shows, and I turned down a lot of gigs because it just simply didn't work out for me. I've had roles that was just strictly right in my hand saying, this is for you. Meet the Blacks, Grow House, been playing in the James Brown movie playing Little Richard. They wanted me to play Little Richard. I'm not putting no lip liners on my lip. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's
I'm
certain
not
things you
wearing
just don't do.
Exactly. So those are things that I never really went into depth. I never went into details with. And that's that. So at the end of the day, man, you see people with Hollywood stories, what happened to them, 30 under 30 and stuff like that. It's really all about how you feel. Because at the end, people are going to always have opinions about what they feel like you should have done, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tom Brady got 6 rings and they still hating on him. You know, the man have been to the Super Bowl about 9, 10 times and they still got something to say. It does not matter how much success you have. People will still find something to say. So you have to ask yourself, am I peaceful? Am I happy? Am I good at where I'm at? I'm good at where I'm at. I'm peaceful. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. I may not have looked like it, you know, with the whole Nick Cannon thing and everything, but that was just simply me defending my character. Because I'm going to go down swinging before anybody count me out saying, you fell off, this is what happened. Because at the end of the day, when people die, they don't give them their flowers while they're living. They wait till they die to put rest in peace and say you to go. But nigga, I want to see this shit when I'm living. Give me this shit while I'm living. Don't cut the pie. I want to see what the hell is going on. And give me my flowers. And I feel like that's the same thing that Soulja Boy did while he was cutting up. He just simply let the world know, like, look, I got money. Look, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm being disrespected, and I want my flowers while I'm living. So people should demand and stand up for who they are. Because the last thing I need is to leave this earth and people making a fucked up biopic about me that ain't true. So let me tell my story while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell my story. So when I tell my story, if somebody were to do something, the fans gonna call out and say, that ain't it. That ain't what JB said.
Yeah. You got way too much information out there that you said already to where someone could even try to lie on you.
Exactly. So this is very important in this time because I'm speaking on something that even the celebrities and the public figures in the 90s, in the early 2000s, and prior to that and before that, they couldn't do that. You know, they went in for auditions and you know they did their movies, they did their work, and they're being cut and edited the way the industry wants to cut and edit them. You know, for the most part, I was in control with my image 95% of the time. And that's a blessing. I mean, Lord knows where I would be if I were to just give my footage and give my image to people. They would cut me up and make me look all types of ways. You know what I'm saying? Set me up for failure all types of ways. And that's one thing that's very important for independent creators. When you're an independent creator, take control of your image. Take control of your brand. Don't let nobody chop you up and make you look crazy out here. You make sure you stand over them and you make sure you're presented right because all you have is you at the end of the day. When you ain't got no money, when you ain't got no love and nobody supporting you and everybody walk out on you, all you have is you. So just don't lose that. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Like this is a big opportunity for me and like it was just good talking to you, to be honest. Thank you.
All good, man. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.